Once a giant, always a giant. For me, it's only a giant.
So check it out. The D6 Squad has merch now. We got hoodies, tees, mugs, whatever you need. Check it out. Link in the description. What's going on YouTube? Diggy546. This is going to be DeVonta Smith. I mean, listen. He's been getting a lot of disrespect lately. Rashad Bateman ran his 40 time, and now people are ready to say Rashad Bateman might get picked over, and people are ready to say, you know, he's small, he's frail, this and that. He's going to run slow in the 40. First off, as we see in this film session, DeVonta Smith is not slow in any way, and DeVonta Smith is an elite wide receiver prospect. Now, I've done the film session on Waddle, I've done it on Jamar Chase, I've done it on Bateman. And DeVonta Smith is going to be the last of the top 4 receivers. But this isn't really necessarily because of ranking. It's more just, DeVonta Smith, I just didn't get to it. I got to it at the last second. But I think this is the perfect time because it's like he's getting buried right about now, which I don't understand. But we'll get into this. You're going to see DeVonta Smith run a corner route. And I got stuff to draw on the screen now. He's going to run this corner route. And when he makes his break, he's going to get right into the open spot of this cover 2 here. You're going to see this corner drop back and not drop back deep enough because what they're going to do is these 2 routes are working off of each other. So Mechie is running a shorter kind of corner route, pretty much just an out route. And, Smith is going to be running the corner over top of that. So what that does is pull this coverage down. So he's coming down here. He's, attacking this short route. And it leaves DeVonta Smith open down in the flat. So let's watch this in real time. So you're going to see DeVonta Smith, number 6. The receiver, towards the top of your screen with the skinny legs. We all see him. He just runs through this coverage. And he sells that he's going vertical. If he doesn't sell that he's going vertical, this corner isn't going to bite down on this other receiver. So he sells that he's going vertical. And once he does that, he created enough separation to be able to attack this sweet spot corner where Mac Jones is going to put the ball in a perfect spot. And DeVonta Smith is just going to show off a little bit of his catch radius to go up and get this ball in the hole of the coverage. Snatch it out of the air, 2 feet down. And this is something you see him consistently do, get 2 feet down as if he's already in NFL. So as we get into this part of the film session, this is DeVonta Smith's bread and butter, his technique. His technique, his nuance, and the way he runs routes is just really elite. It's very elite. Him and Jamar Chase, I would say, are the best 2 as far as the nuance, as far as how they set people up throughout an entire game. Maybe Rashad Bateman might be a little bit better of a route runner than a lot of these people, but the nuance and the wittiness with how they attack these routes is next level. So you're going to see DeVonta Smith. He usually, when he attacks these deep routes, he usually gets this outside release, goes straight up the sideline like this. And one thing that's interesting, as I'm gonna roll this. One thing that's interesting is you're gonna see DeVonta Smith attack up the sideline. He's selling this like he's sprinting upfield, and you're gonna see his head look outside. So when his head looks outside, this defender bites down. This defender is looking right in this area because he's saying he's trying to get to the outside. He gets consistently outside against other corners, and he's down this sideline, down this left sideline or down that right sideline. And once he gets to that sideline, he's usually an explosive receiver. So this corner starts to say, okay, he's looking outside, so I'm expecting he's going to take this route deep. But he doesn't, and he's still looking outside, and he's still looking outside. And then what you're going to see is a perfect stop. He takes, 2 steps to stutter. And one thing that I like to highlight when I see it is perfect form. Perfect form. His head is directly lined up with his knee. That's exactly what you want in this situation. You want his head to be directly lined up with the knee. That's perfectly lined up. So from this position, he can go left, he can go right, he can go upfield. It can be a stop and go, or he could be turning around. So in this particular point, it's a hitch. He's turned around, the corner is off balance, and it's an easy catch. And we like to see him catch it with his hands. And then he turns this into a play after the play. So he's got his first down, back on the field. You would kind of like to see him not have to jump to catch it, but that's fine. He's back on field. And then Mechie he's kind of slow getting this block. He takes a sort of a bad angle. I don't know what he was doing. This looks almost like Madden where people just miss blocks. But Mechie takes a bad angle, misses this block. If he didn't, then this could have been really, gone for 6. But he ends up taking this a good amount of yards. Breaks this tackle here. And, gets about 15 extra yards. So what you have here is man across the board. Man here, he drops down to take this man. He drops down to take this man. He drops down to take this man. Him right here takes the running back. And then what you're going to have is a spy. I think he ends up dropping back for this spy right here. He helps with Mechie, instead of helping with, I think actually this is Judy. Yeah, this is 20. This is Tua. So yeah, this is Judy in the slot. And he drops back to help with Judy instead of DeVonta Smith. So DeVonta Smith has one man on him. He only has to beat this one man. He gets sort of a rub route help with your running back. Running back's going to run a little bit of a flat kind of route. He gets a little help there. But DeVonta Smith does a good job of getting upfield, selling that he could go vertical, taking that half step outside, and then running this slant. And that's pretty much... There's so many ways that you can run a slant route. Sometimes DeVonta Smith he'll be lined up pretty far off the line of scrimmage. And he'll just, run a slant almost, without having to take any steps upfield. He'll just run straight inside. But sometimes he'll give that break outside because, as I said, DeVonta Smith is elite at getting outside leverage and going up the field. And we've definitely seen him do it against Stingley before. So Stingley is very aware of not getting beat outside. You'd rather get beat inside because you have this safety up the top. This is kind of like a cover one robber thing, man across the board. Linebacker in the middle of the field as kind of that robber position. And then the safety playing deep coverage to make sure you don't get killed over the top. So let's watch this. As I say, you're going to see DeVonta Smith take this half step outside. And as soon as he takes that step, your corner is off balance. Derek Stingley is stepping back to try to make up for that outside leverage. And Stingley is such an athletic corner that he's usually able to recover. But DeVonta Smith's change of direction is so elite that you can't really recover in that short of a space against a receiver like this. You really can't. And this is a nice catch in traffic here. Just enough separation. Again, I mean, he jumps when he catches. Sometimes you kind of want to stay on the ground, but jumps when he catches it. And he, takes this hit from Grant Delpit. And this is another play I just wanted to highlight. It reminded me a lot of Odell, one of the best yak receivers I've seen of this generation. At least when he was on the Giants, Odell in the open field was a nightmare. It seems like he would always get an extra 15, 20 yards every time he caught the ball. He could catch it. It could seem like the play is over and we could, score on that play. So DeVonta Smith catches the ball here on a hitch route in the open field. He makes Stingley miss. He's got two people chasing him here. Gets the block out here, breaks to the outside. And he's such a great ball carrier. He has great vision in the open field. And he turns this into a pretty big play. All because, if you take this back, this play is pretty much, done. You would think with two people right here it's done, but he gets an extra 30 yards out of it. He ends up, running for an extra 30 yards. And I've talked over and over again about DeVonta Smith's outside release. He's gonna have a man coverage here, and he's just gonna get this outside release, go up the sideline, and there's not much people usually can do. You also have You also have this freaking nature Jalen Waddle in the open field, breaking up the seam, so that makes things a lot easier for DeVonta Smith. But DeVonta Smith, as I said, is going to get this outside release, and this is why he's able to fake outside on these slant routes and get so open. This is why he's able to stare at the sideline when he's breaking up the field and run a hitch route, because people are so scared of him getting outside and getting up that sideline, which he does he does it in such an elite way. So let's watch him get this outside leverage immediately. And he's immediately in the chase mode. Derek Stingley is immediately in the chase mode. He's already got his eyes on his hips to try to, fend off any kind of a comeback route. And he's chasing. And at this point, the separation just ensues. Separation ensues for all the people. He's running away from Derek Stingley, who probably will be a first-round corner coming out of the draft next year. He's running away from Stingley. And the separation, immediate separation for people that want to question his speed, is there. Caught, and this went for 6. So LSU, for some reason, I don't know why we did this. As an LSU fan, I don't know why we did it. But every time we played cover 0 or cover 1, somebody was walking into the end zone when we played Alabama. It just happened that way. This is man all the way across the board. You got one safety deep. He's responsible for anything deep. And it's just not really fair to him. When you have all of these elite receivers on the field, it's not really fair to ask this guy to defend the entire field, because DeVonta is going to do what he does best, get this outside leverage with not much help over the top. I mean, there's not much help. This is a lot of space for this corner to have to cover. And then this isn't even the best corner. This isn't even Stingley. This is a lot of space for him to have to cover. And I mean, to follow across the screen all the way down here and all the way down here with not much help is really ridiculous. And I don't like that they did this. But anyway, when you play cover 0 or you play cover 1 against DeVonta Smith, this is the kind of result that you expect. This is the exact kind of result that you're going to get. They try to run sort of a rub route, which might help getting Mechie open, but it doesn't really help get DeVonta Smith open. It actually slows him down a step. As you see, he kind of hesitates to get past this dude, past Stingley. So it gives the corner an actual step. And for all the people that want to say that DeVonta Smith is slow, well, why does he leave this guy? Why does he leave? Why does he separate when the ball's in the air? Why is this corner 3 steps behind him? Can somebody tell me? For if he's so slow, why is this corner behind him? I don't care what his 40 time says. His game speed is unmatched. I mean, it's matched, but you get my point. His game speed, he has no problems running away from people. He doesn't have that issue. So at this point in the game, we're playing 4D chess. We're playing 4D chess because I talked about the outside release. So first thing you're going to see is the outside release, and he's got him beat here. Outside release, got him beat here. And we've already seen the outside release and the threat of an outside release turn into a hitch. So this could be a hitch, or it could be a corner, because he's looking back at this quarterback and he breaks outside with no effort. No effort in this change of direction. He's already outside. He's open here on the sideline. And after Stingley thinks, okay, this is the route he's running, I got to recover. He tries to recover, and before he can even begin to recover, DeVonta Smith breaks back inside, takes you all the way across the field, with skinny legs and skinny arms at all. I mean, look at the size of his arm. Look how skinny his arm is. It doesn't matter. He runs us to the back of the end zone. You can argue it might have been a push off, but this is a one-handed grab in the back of the end zone. One-handed grab back of the end zone. Play of the year. This is the play of the year. And this last play that I want to show you is just a classic stop and go. One of my favorite routes that Jamar Chase runs, actually. But DeVonta Smith is capable of doing it too, because he's great at setting these guys up. And again, we got Stingley as the victim. I mean, Stingley is going to be a good player, but against DeVonta Smith, he never really has a good day. So Stingley's the victim again. We're going to get the outside release. Once again, outside release. You can't even really get your hands on the guy when he's lined up behind the line of scrimmage, and he's so quick at the line. His releases are so varied. He's so quick at the line. He gets the outside release. And at this point, Stingley is like, okay, just as I talked about this last play, Stingley is saying, okay, he's going to get this sideline, go up the field, and I'm going to be back on Sports Center because, I let him get over the top of me again. So he's like, okay, cool. I got to get back in position. Tries to get back in position. He's running. And he said, okay, he already got me with the hitch route. And this is what I mean. It's so important, so important to have this stance look exactly the same. Because when it looks the same, Stingley is saying, I've seen this before. Last time I saw this turned into a hitch route and I got burned. I got burned because I wasn't in position to stop this hitch. So, not in position to stop the hitch. So he said, I got to stop it. And this is what shows you how great this Stingley is, because he's fooled by the stop. And he just, claps his feet together, slides his feet together. Crosses his feet. And actually, does a great job keeping up with the route. And this is just when you have the difference between elite receivers and non-elite receivers. This is the game-changing receiver. This is what separates them. Stingley stays with the guy. Still is on his shoulder after that great route that he ran. After he set him up, got set up, and recovered. Stingley still on his shoulder. Perfect position. But it's just a whole new ball game when you got a guy who's going to take his off of the top shelf and make this four-dimensional. He's making it four-dimensional. 4D chess. I said it, but he's making it four-dimensional. So what DeVonta Smith is going to do is say, this has been great. You did a great job covering me here, but I'm going to go up and get the ball. I'm going to go up and get this out of the air. Now, like I said, Stingley at this point is right on his shoulder. Only thing Stingley isn't doing is looking for the football. But he just doesn't have the momentum to be able to stop, go up and get this ball like that, and Stingley is out of the play. He's out of the play, and DeVonta Smith goes up like an NFL receiver, toe tap, 1, 2. Already getting ready for the NFL. So I always like to stop this on these last Moss kind of pictures. I think that these pictures are, pretty entertaining to pause it on. So anyway, I usually try to do this, but DeVonta Smith is a problem, and I don't want people to get confused about this, man. Listen, the dude got injured. His ankle got hurt. Not his ankle. His wrist got hurt. That's not going to be a regular occurrence. Now, he does have to put on some weight to play in the NFL consistently, take hit after hit after hit. Yes, he's going to have to put on some weight. I think that he will be in the 180s, at least after his first year. If not, he might be putting on weight right now. We might see him at 180-something by the time the season starts. So I think that he can play in the 180s. I don't think that that's a problem. He's going to keep his explosion. If he can do that, if he can keep his route running, he's going to be an issue. He can be a number one receiver day one. The only question is his durability, and we haven't seen him really get hurt that much in the SEC, where we got all guys who are going to the NFL. LSU's team, you can go down the list of guys that are in the NFL. There's a long list. There's going to be guys from Florida that are going to go. There's a long list of guys that are going to the league. Most of these people that he's playing against, especially the people that he's playing against, are going to the league. So it's going to be difficult for me to say that the Giants should pass on this dude because of his weight when he's such an elite prospect. He's above Rashad Bateman. I still have him behind Jalen Waddle, but I have him above Rashad Bateman. He's behind Jamar Chase. But once those two receivers are gone, DeVonta Smith is really the way to go. There's no reason that any of these teams should be passing on DeVonta Smith. It just shouldn't be happening. But you guys let me know what you think of him, what you saw from this film session. And I think he's being underrated right now. I really do. So if you made it this deep into the video, I'm calling you a D6 Squad member. If you're a D6 Squad member, you got to hit that subscribe button. You got to turn on that notification bell. And listen, I make all kinds of content for NFL teams, so if you're not a Giants fan, don't worry. I'll cover your team. If I'm not covering your team, let me know, and have a good one.